to be under the sea, reading off the pussy's got with you.
Every Saturday morning, I look forward to getting another amazing picture from the Sydney Underwater Gazette. It's the Facebook page for divers and snorkelers and lovers of all things under the water. But this one, it's just so vivid blue. Go to their Facebook page to find out more, or say a very good morning to Marco Bordieri. How are you this morning, Marco?
Mr. Marnie, good morning. Very well, you?
I am so well, and I'm also very happy because now I know how to say nudibranch.
Without the H. Yeah, it's without the H. It took me a while too, so don't worry.
This is the blue dragon picture you've got here, the most vivid blue colour, but then those really nice geometrical designs.
Yeah, it's perfect. Looks like somebody has been just designing it because of these nuances, and it's actually the only thing that our reporters, our underwater reporters, the diver of our community, have been spotting for the last week because no one has been in the water. So it has been one case of if the mountain will not come to Muhammad, then Muhammad must go to the mountain. So actually, the fish came out of that water.
Well, I did see one of your members in a park with snorkel and goggles with his face down in the lawn.
yeah, that was Jake. Yeah, he was. He went for a dive, and then the water visibility was so low that he just took a picture of himself on the ground, pretending to be diving. Yeah.
We'll look at what it's going to be like for this weekend. But the blue dragon, is it part of the blue bottle family or not?
It is related. So this is a nudibranch. It's not a jellyfish, but definitely there is a connection, and not just because of the color. They actually hang around together. So in some period of the year, which is usually from January to March, April, and in situations like strong wind from northeast, you may come across a large number or a flotilla of, or armada, as they say, of blue bottles, those jellyfish with this inflatable sail. So they're pushed towards our coast, they show up, and often when we have a large number of blue bottles, we also find the blue dragons coming along.
And there's a good reason for that, isn't there? And a reason that makes us love those guys, the blue dragons, because
they eat and they feed on blue bottles. So
yes.
Yeah, in a way, they are a friend of us in a way because they reduce the number of blue bottles, but on the flip side, they are stinging themselves because... In eating the blue bottles, they also eat the stinging cells. They put them on their bodies. So if you touch a blue dragon, which is lovely and it attracts a lot of cuddles, but at the same time you get the same stinging cells and even more concentrated on their body. So the advice, if you see one of these blue dragons washed on the shore, better not to touch them because the effect will be the same.
And you do the same as you would for a blue bottle. You wash the area with seawater and then apply hot water. Do not use vinegar. There should be an adult warning for the Underwater Gazette page today, because then you go through the 12 different stages of the blue dragon's mating sequence with graphic photos.
Yeah, they are hermaphrodites, so basically they both the organs, so you can't say one is male or the other is female. And also, they mate, basically they get closer and they mate. And the funny thing of them is that they spend their whole life, which is, well, it's not very, very long, it's just 1 year, upside down because they stay belly up. And they float on the surface. What they do, they ingest air in the stomach in order to stay on the surface, exactly like the blue bottles. They feed on blue bottles, so they have to be on the same level. And they spend their life upside down, with the belly facing up and the back facing the other way.
So in the photos, one side is lighter than the other.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So if you have noticed, most of the fish, and namely the sharks, they got one side which is darker. So usually, if you look at the shark, for example, the back is blue or darker anyway, and the belly is like silverly or whitish. And the reason is that it's called counter shading. So if you look from above, from outside the surface, they look like the surface of the sea because they are dark. And if you look from below, they look like the surface of the sea seen as from below, like, whitish or silvery. So most of the fish are white on the bottom and dark on the back. But because this one is living flips upside down, it's the opposite. So their belly is actually dark in a way that when you see from the surface, you don't see them very, very well because they look like the blue of this. Well, the blue one is blue today is kind of brown, and this is protecting them from seagulls when they try to locate them.
Whoa. We'll have a look at the pictures on the Sydney Underwater Gazette, and still very bad visibility over this weekend, Marco?
Yeah, I can't even say how much visibility. I went yesterday with my best intention. I really needed to go diving after 2 weeks of hiatus. And I took all the gear, went to Shelley Beach, and no, there was no go. There was like 1 meter of visibility. The water is really brown and green, and no one was in the water. So my advice would be for the weekend, just be patient, because that's a situation across the board. I've been looking at, there is also on the Sydney Underwater Gazette, there's a picture from the satellite from 2 days ago, and you can see it's like a plume of brown water coming out of the Hawkesbury River in Palm Beach, and then pushed by the Eastern Australian current all the way down to, I don't know, at least Botany Bay. So you can literally see this brown water across all the coast of Sydney. So just be patient.
50 Shades of Brown, and hopefully a happier report next week. Marco, have a great weekend.
You too. Have a good one.
Ci vediamo.